Anyway, so let me, I want to pull up this raw video. Now, once again, one of the things that I did do is I included, like I said, it's raw footage, so I put some of the driving video just to kind of show you what it's like over there. Because a lot of people, to me, I like to watch the travel shows. And I do that so that, you can kind of get an idea of what it's like. So the city we're driving into right now is called Mitsu. And Mitsu is kind of your major city before you go up to Osore-zan. And kind of an interesting thing. So if you want drinks, or, snacks or whatever, good idea. Unless you really want to scrounge from the goodies left for the children at Osore-zan. But
that would be bad.
That would, if you're starving, I mean,
yeah, but can you imagine explaining you got possessed by eating some passed away child's M&Ms?
Yeah, it would be pretty bad.
That's what I'm saying. Bad.
But, this was the most dangerous thing going up there. Like I said, last week, we run video all the time, even when we're driving, because, the people coming up after us for the actual investigation would, they might need to know stuff. If we got lost, we turn the wrong way, they'll know that. And there is a tricky turn if you're actually driving, which I would recommend. If you were ever going to Japan and you choose to ghost hunt, this should be number one on your list. But rent a car. Don't take the bus. The bus sucks. The bus doesn't stop for places. However,
how do you get on then?
It just doesn't stop.
Catch them at a red light, or
if you got a whiz, if you needed Coke, you missed out on a lot of the cultural experiences, interacting with the locals and whatnot. You miss out on all that.
So they do a lot of, if you look to your left and you look to your right, but you don't really get
time. No, you're going to get it in Japanese, So, and my Japanese does suck. I will try to pronounce some of these words, but I want to be honest with you, it sucks. It's been 20-something years since I've been there, so. Yeah. It is, man, these roads. First of all, you're driving on the left. The roads are way smaller. What I think we would consider a single lane is a double lane over there. And there's like this instance here, we're going around the corner. That truck almost hit us. And I had to mute the audio a little bit because, man, this is, you hear me swearing like, oh my, holy crap, we almost got smushed. And it happened like 5 or 6 times. And then you got these blind corners that you got to go around, and you never know if there's a tour bus coming the other way or their version of a semi. Yeah, it just makes the drive really, really fun. But, yeah. So anyway, one of the other interesting things about this place, there's 2 big festivals that occur at Mount Osore-zan, which literally means Mount Fear if you translate it into English. And I'm going to take out all of the Lord of the Ring jokes. We were always, we got to take the ring and throw it in. Yeah, we were always joking about it. But there's 2 major festivals. The first is on July 20th to the 24th. And the second happens during the month of October. But basically what they do is that's when the spiritual mediums go up and they call the spirits of the dead and they speak on the behalf of the family. And this is actually kind of a lucrative business. They call them the Atako. That's the Japanese name for these mediums. And they're a little bit different than what we represent psychics today. As it's not a born ability, they acquire it. But right before you go over the rim, you have this little spring thing here, which some buses stop at, some don't. But what's kind of neat is it's kind of I guess you can call it a purification ritual. So the water's coming out of the fountain and you drink from it, and there's 3 different little spigots, so to speak, that you have to drink out of where you go down. Once again, you got my skinny butt back in, when was this? 1989, explaining this. Yeah, well, they drink from it. So right before you go into hell, you got to be, cleansed. Don't want any of them buggers following you home. But just the mythology of this place is fascinating. But what the Atako do is the family often, if they can't make it to Osore-zan, they hire these people and they go up on behalf of the family and they will talk to your ancestors, and they come back nice. Down with the news, like, well, your great-great-grandpa really hates your haircut and that girl you're dating? Not happening. Family doesn't like her. And it's stuff like this. And it's kind of interesting if you go up there during that time. Also, there are a couple, we talked about it last week with Zero and I, There are 4 medicated baths up here. They're public bathhouses, so there's one for men, one for women, and there's a co-ed one. And just, you got to be aware. You can't go into the women one, but you can go into the co-ed one. But like I said, the water is this sulfury smelling, bubbly stuff. I didn't want to go in there. Normally I would brave that kind of thing, but no.
Especially for the ladies.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, that's... Ugh. I mean, literally the second you come over the crest is Sant Chichu. So here is the lake. This is it's a volcanic lake. And the smell of sulfur, I mean, when you come over that sulfur smell, just bam! I mean, it is intense. It is bad. But on this side is what they call Paradise Beach. And it's really nice. You got the blue water there. You're surrounded by mountains. And going through it, as you can see, I'm walking over here now, there's just these sulfur streams. And one of the elements here is, according, once again, to their legend, is they have literally the bridge to hell. Now, the thing about the bridge, it's this red bridge, and we'll be showing it to you here in a minute, is supposedly if you lived your life properly, you were a good person, you can see the bridge plainly and you can cross over. However, if you were wicked, like Wendy, and you come to the bridge, a mist obscures the bridge and you cannot cross. So it's another part of their mythology. A whole bunch of areas are there that are kind of interesting. There's the bridge. But there's a bunch of areas, like they have places like there's Lake Blood. Just the names of the various places around here are pretty fascinating by themselves. By the way, the name of that beach, I called it the beach, Paradise Beach. It's let me see if I can pronounce this. I can't. Gokurhama. I shouldn't have drank before it didn't. Anyway,
yeah,
so
you know that's the rule. You got big words. You shouldn't drink until you're done. You should know this by now.
But it makes it more fun.
I'm going to scold you. I'm going to scold you from my hut over here.
But yeah, the Tizo are the gods they're talking about. They're a common sight here, as are the cairns that are built by visitors. Suppose at the cairns you place offerings such as coins. Another thing that you'll see people doing is actually putting little rocks on the cairns to, help the kids out. One of the things you'll also see, whether or not, with the whole Buddhist thing, is there's all kinds of presents that are left for the children. The thing is, the children cannot pass to the afterlife. You can't pass before your parents do. So if a child dies, they're kind of doomed, I guess you can say. They have to roam the waste of Osorezan until the parents pass, or until, they're freed. And there's all kinds of things that leave out for them. Chocolates. A popular thing you see also are plastic pinwheels. They're all over the place up there. Candy, small toys, things like that. Many of the offerings are also made at a lot of the temple sites, as well as some of the small cairns that you see on the rock shore. You'll see flowers and the pinwheel stuck in there, straw sandals, all of course which are given to, the kids. There's one guardian of the children. I'm just see if I can find his name here. But you can kind of see this. You'll see a lot of these pictures. There's statues wearing a red hat and a red bib. That's the guardian of the children. And so you'll see a lot of the offerings made at that. Apparently there's also a lot of demons, as you're seeing in the display there, that go around, they kick over the rock cairns and pretty much make life unpleasant for the kids. And so this guardian of the children is pretty much the only one that keeps them safe. So you'll see a lot of offerings at sites to him. So this is inside, as you're coming in, there's temple complexes off to both sides. And we're just giving you a kind of a view here. All these are kind of cordoned off. It's like you can't go walking in there if you wanted to. Keep in mind, if they are open and you go inside, you're in Japan. You have to remove your shoes. No trotting in there with your sneakers on. Made that mistake once, but not at this place, another place. Also at the site, there's a hotel. And right as you come in, the hotel is off onto your right. So we're actually looking the opposite way. That's the entrance. And the hotel would be on the left if you're looking at this picture. And your bathhouses and stuff are up more. This is the big temple at the end of the way, and this is where the Atako go. So when they're doing that big commune thing with the dead, that's where it's happening, is in that particular temple. So, yeah, it's just the mythology of it. Like I said, and the place is weird. And a lot of the weirdness is, on the one side, it's peaceful, it's a nice beach, and then it's like right on the other side of the lake, you have sulfur and, so much sulfur, the ground is literally yellow in places. Volcanic vents, all kinds of just weird stuff. Once again, these are more statues of the Tiso, the different gods that they have. And another popular thing that you'll see are prayer sticks, and I think we have that coming up on the video in just a second. But this is the place where the prayer sticks are consecrated. It's just a big stick, has a prayer written on it, and you pay for that, and then one of the priests will actually come, they'll take the stick, they'll plant it in the ground, like you're seeing here, and you got your prayer. Also coming up in the video very soon is the only video footage I've found so far. I know I have some more in boxes somewhere, but the only video footage I have of Yoshi, and we're going to talk more about Yoshi here in a little bit, my Japanese friend that went ghost hunting with us. Never drove with us. He did it once. That was enough for him. Refused to drive with us. And the only reason he's in here is because he's not aware. There he goes. He's not aware he's being filmed. Normally we turn the camera on, he stands behind us. I don't want you to film me. He had a thing about that. But once again, you can see the rock cairns. These things are all over the place. And the complex itself is huge. And I've talked about this on other shows before, when you're ghost hunting outside areas, that the bigger the area, the hotter it is. And it's to the point of, just being ridiculous. The place is huge. The temple complex itself is massive. And then once again, you got all the little rock cairns. We're now on the volcanic side. And we're going up the hill here. Once again, there's tons and tons of little shrines. Intermingled between these are intermittent small little temples to different deities. And once again, you'll see the offerings. They also have a little box that they place outside for, monetary donations, for the priests and whatnot. Pinwheels, once again, very popular. It's believed the pinwheels supposedly help the children onto the next world or whatever, so you see tons of them. Interesting place. One of the things that did suck about this when on these recons, and we realized it immediately upon getting up here, and there's video here. It's going to show what really going to emphasize what I'm talking about. When you come up, this side of the lake is so active volcanically that there's steam shooting out of vents, and it's not like a constant thing, right? It's like a little and a little burst of steam comes up, and it's not just one little vent. They're all over the place. And in fact, that's what we're doing here. We're checking out the vents, going, "Oh man, this is going to suck for photography." Because think about it. If you're out there at night and you're taking photographs, what's going to happen? You're going to see this mist shoot up. You're going to get something in every flippin' picture you take. And you can't disprove that it's not a vent, volcanic vent. And you get the wind carrying these things at nighttime. It's pretty trippy because, if you have an inversion in the atmosphere, the little vent will, do its little chuck up of steam, right? And this little bit of steam goes floating across, and you're sitting there and you can see it with your eyes, and it looks like a ghost. I could totally see how people would believe that. Here you can see the vents. It's kind of hard to film during the day, but the darker it is, with your eye, you can see like dozens of them. But yeah, very interesting spot. So we immediately ruled that out. The other thing you got to remember, in '89, we did not have night shot cameras, so we didn't have these infrared cameras that can shoot in the dark. If you had a camera, you had a normal light on it, which was good for maybe 10 feet, and then
if that,
and so we didn't really mess with video either. So a lot of people, why didn't you film it at night? Well,
night
we
vision.
Didn't really have anything to film
night
it
vision
at
back then was a mag light in your armpit.
And I'll also show you the place where the incident happened. And I got to talk about the incident a little bit in detail here because it's kind of interesting. What are you doing over here? Oh, he's stealing things. So,
He's stealing our pen.
yeah. Get a working pen. Oh, we went to blue screen. Oh, there we go. So this is once again,
Need a degree
there's the
to-
statue of the protector of the children up on the hill. This is kind of one of the more dominant statues, but they are all over the place. So what happened during the investigations, we went out to this place, and I've told the story before, but we'll do it again because I got to tell Yoshi's side. I thought it would only be fair. I'll point it out in the video where we were because we actually do film the site where it happened during the daytime on this recon. But we're out here at night, and we're moving around the lake, and we're just seeing, we get anything on instrumentation because that's pretty much what we were limited it to. And as we came around the side of this temple, you go up, and there's a flat area, a couple statues and things. And up there, we're walking by. I'm in the front. Ted McKelsey's with us. He's another guy, long time member of SGHA that passed away in Desert Storm. And then Yoshi's bringing up the rear. So we walk by, and when Yoshi crosses this one area, all we hear behind us is this deep, some Japanese phrase in a very deep voice. And Yoshi freaks. Hey, demon! And he takes off. He's gone. And at first we're kind of, what the hell? And then as Ted walked back, we heard it again. And it turned out to be a toy that was left, out there as they do as an offering. And it had a motion detector. So whenever you would set off the motion detector, the voice would come out of the toy. And it scared the hell out of Yoshi. And of course I had to chase him down because he was gone, man. And unfortunately, I did not notice a boiling pool of sulfur water, which I stepped into with my right foot and toasted my foot a little bit.
Ouch.
It actually lost the toenail. The toenail just fell off on my, the little piggy goes wee 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 all the way home. That one.
It went all the way home?
It left. It went.
It
That's the market. I'm gone. So yeah. But a lot of people say, well, so silly Yoshi. No. Here's his viewpoint of this whole incident. I got to explain it. Okay, so we're here during the daytime. We film everything. The investigation is 2 weeks after this on a weekend. Okay? And as you can see, we're walking around. We're filming everything. In this area where we're going, we saw no toys. There's only one place where we saw them leaving offerings like candy and things. But it was near this big statue, so we kind of knew where that was. Then when we went back and, we filmed everything. Well, as he said, there wasn't anything there. And you got to think about it. I walked by first, then Ted, and it happens to him. So obviously in his mind, something's going on here. The other thing is what it said in Japanese. Of course, me and Ted didn't understand what it said in Japanese. He said it said, prepare to meet your doom. But this toy, it's kind of like a robot samurai looking thing, so you could see a toy, prepare to meet your doom. A toy, right? But of course, in that low voice out in the middle of nowhere, you're not expecting something like that, so you just heard prepare to meet your doom, and you take in his belief system and everything.
In English or Japanese?
It said it in Japanese. So we didn't know what it said. All we heard is, and what the hell? He's running off. So, and that's his whole thing is that, we didn't see any toys there. I wasn't expecting anything.
What is that?
A voice. Well, there's all kinds of things. So a lot of these are little, another thing they do is they take these little statues of children and they'll wrap them in red cloth and they send them out by everything. I think here I'm just filming money. Some of the money that people chunk. Remember I told you how they have the rock gardens and they put money there too? I don't know what that's for. Bribe the demons, I guess. Don't mess with the kids. Take the money. But, yeah, here we're talking about this. I remember this conversation. We're like, man, if dark, that would suck to fall off into that stuff. Could you imagine if there's no guardrails? You could literally walk off the side into one of these bubbling pools, which, oddly enough, I did. And then here we have the crows. Didn't catch it on film, but we took a break, kind of like a little lunch break. These little bastards are voracious. I had a Snickers, okay? A little candy bar, a little something, get me some energy to get through the hike and everything here. And I open this thing up. This bird comes up and snatches the damn thing out of my hand. And if you think about it, the birds, people are leaving chips, candy. Well, these birds live off that stuff. And I was just amazed, like, damn, you little bastard, and then thought, well, God, he could have got my eye. Because I was about to take a bite, and he just swooped in and took it. But, yeah, another thing you got to deal with is the birds. In fact, the audio, you just hear these guys cawing the whole time. It's kind of strange. So here this is one of the smaller temples. This is further back. Once again, you see the red bib and the red hat, protector of the children. And you see little shrines around him. And I think we take a peek in here, actually. Yeah. Tons of incense, which is another thing. As everybody, paranormal investigations, you're supposed to pay attention to the smells. You can't do that here. There's so many different kinds of incense burning at various points at various temples. You can get a whiff of that and not be anywhere near a temple. The wind will just carry it. What's that smell? It's probably incense from the temple. That's what made it difficult to investigate. But this is where we were told to go to look for ghosts in Japan by the Japanese people that we knew. Mainly the guy that served the awesome sushi outside Misawa Air Base. That's where he's doing it. You want to go ghost? You go up there.
Sushi's not food. It's bait to catch bigger fish that you cook.
That's awesome. I never loved sushi until I went to Japan and tried it. And then I fell in love with it. And here I found one place in town, I think, that does more authentic, at least the way I remember. So this is the actual temple site. You can see, you can come in, light candles and whatnot, or the incense is popular. Now, we're getting close to the place where the incident happened. And the only reason we go up here in the investigation anyway is because I'm following Ken here, he's on the recon, and I go, whoa, dude, look, there's a path that goes behind this temple thing. Let's see what it is. Okay, well, so we go walking up there, and when we get to the top, you see the other thing that messed with us. If you look in the picture, you'll see these little claws hanging from trees. I think I'll pan over and I'll show it. At night, those things will F you up. They're hanging all over the place. So you can imagine you're in the dark and you see this white thing floating around in the breeze. Another one of these. I don't know if they serve a purpose, and I'm sure they do. But, yeah, that's another thing that really messed us up in the investigations. These things randomly in the trees. So we had to adjust to that. And then right around this little bit right here is where the toy was. So see, it's not in an area where they were putting most of your toys or whatnot. So that's what led Yoshi to freak out and run for his life.
Did you see him freak out in her?
No, that was at nighttime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, there's the statue. And this is where the toy was left. It was left down by the statue. So, and he took off, man. Gone. Like, at first you laugh. Once we figured out, it's just a toy, and then you get that realization. Damn, he's got the car keys, and he's not slowing down. He probably won't slow down when he reaches the car either. So, it's not what I would recommend if you're here. I would go ahead and stay the night. If you can stand the sulfur smell, or you get adjusted to it. Stay at the hotel. The hotel isn't bad. When we went in '89, it was about $60 a night, and U.S. dollars. I don't remember what the yen rate is, and it depends, of course, on the conversion of money. But it wasn't that horrible of a price. We just never did. It was within driving distance for us. It's only like a 4-hour drive, so we didn't have any kind of an issue. But other than that, we like I said, during that time, you're talking 1989, with what we had. I mean, we couldn't use cameras because of the volcanic vents. You have the crap flying around in the trees. You have ravens cawing. You have the lake making sounds. Of course, you got the sloshing sounds of the lake hitting the shores. The sounds of the vents, incense floating in there. I mean, it was really difficult to do. So we did 2 investigations. We didn't really find anything, nothing substantial. But it was one of the more memorable ones. And it's just a cool place to go. So I want to show you guys a couple of pictures. Let's see. Oops. I gotta refresh my pictures here. But interesting place, man. If you can ever get out this way, yeah, you got to check this place out. It's just too cool. Okay, so here's some of the pictures we got here. This is just kind of showing some more of the vents. But to give you an idea of just how big the place is, here's some of the temples. They call them the what is it, Boji, I think is what they call them. Here's a map of the entire site. So you can see they have the little river, which is their equivalent of the river Styx, where the red bridge crosses. And then you have the temple complex, which is massive. Tons of temples, and you can keep walking all the way around the side of the lake. And there's your little treats. This is typical. You walk up. There's all kinds of munchies here. So this is why those crows are there. They're being fed. People are leaving this stuff out, and when people leave, the crows come in and eat it. I'm just telling you, don't picnic at Osore-zan. Yeah, they will interrupt your picnic. And this is I think we're looking at the bathhouses at Osore-zan here. So I think if I remember right, it's been a while. If I remember right, the one on the right is for the men, and the other one is the women, and the co-ed is behind. But yeah, well, there's a whole bunch of different temples and whatnot. This is, I think, a cool shot of the bridge. One of the things that when we were joking when we first went there is, okay, you have this, and then there's a modern bridge for you to drive across to get to the temple. And I remember Ted going, well, all right, so I'm wicked. I can't see the bridge. I can see the highway one, the modern one. I can just cross it. But what's interesting, if you get into the whole Buddhist mythology and you look at their concept of afterlife, you could see why this legend came, because it fits. The right amount of mountains are around. You have the stream coming through. The land, the features, everything kind of matches with the mythology. So you can totally see how that happened here. Also difficult to investigate as well because of the paths. You can see a path like this where you have rocks on both sides, and you're winding through. And a lot of times, like those vents, you think, oh, well, I know where the vents are. They can be anywhere, and you can see this, and you don't hear it because of all the other sounds. And all of a sudden, this little burst of mist comes floating in front of you, and ectoplasm, take pictures. No, it's kind of freaky, but I think it's just a really cool place. Here's one of the similar to what I stepped in. Okay, these things are hot. It's a pretty thing. Don't stick your finger in there. That is like sticking your finger in a boiling pot. There's a red one I did not get a photograph of, and it's like blood, and it's fairly large. I mean, just red water. It looks like somebody poured red food coloring into it. Just some of the differences. It's got lots of the chemicals. Tons and tons of sulfur. But still, one of the cooler ghost hunts I did overseas. I'm looking for footage of some of the ones we did in Guam, and if I can find those, we'll put those on a future show. I'm slowly going through a lot of the old tapes, they're 20 minutes each, and that's how it goes, man. Eventually get all that information.